Alrighty, what is going on, guys? My name is Skinny Bone Jones, and welcome to episode 5 of WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. As you can see, the calendar shows that we're 2 weeks away from the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, but a change in plans. This is the final Raw, the go-home show to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. We're skipping that 4th week there, as we're going to go ahead here. Check out our match card. We got Tyson Kidd and Xavier Woods in a one-on-one match in the opening contest. The second match is Hell in a Cell. It's Jack Swagger, the Real American, taking on the whole effing show, Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam. We have Rey Mysterio versus Rusev, the Bulgarian Brute, of course. We have Chris Jericho versus Curtis Axel one-on-one match. We have Randy Orton, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, taking on his number 1 contender, Batista. And the main event is for the United States Championship. It's the champ, Daniel Bryan, defending against Seth Rollins. Let's go ahead and simulate as Tyson Kidd knocks off Xavier Woods. Rob Van Dam picks up the win over the Real American Jack Swagger. Rusev, of course, is victorious in his match. And Batista knocks off the champ, Randy Orton. And now we're going to go ahead and get into Chris Jericho versus Curtis Axel. But wait a minute, look who it is. It's Bray Wyatt, Chris Jericho's current rival, coming out for the corner, in the corner of Curtis Axel. As we get underway in this matchup, will Bray Wyatt have any part? Curtis Axel, signature neckbreaker. Is that going to be it for Chris Jericho? But no, Jericho powers out at 2. Bray Wyatt causing the distraction. Curtis Axel is able to capitalize with the neckbreaker. Chris Jericho not starting off well in this matchup. Oh, and there it is. Curtis Axel is just taking advantage of the distraction from Bray Wyatt, taking Chris Jericho down. Chris Jericho's got to get back up into the match as we're now into the collar and elbow tie-up. The proper start to a match. Also, if you're wondering why my voice sounds a little bit weird, I have a sore throat and I'm a little bit sick. But it will be Bray Wyatt versus Chris Jericho at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. This is the go-home show to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. You can expect to see that pay-per-view, I want to say, this Friday or Saturday. We have, of course, have SmackDown left to post, and then I want to do some type of promo or possibly even show off the match card for the pay-per-view before it drops. But Chris Jericho just slamming Curtis Axel into the ropes. Chris Jericho, the Ayatollah of rock and roll, baby. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Both men standing off. Uh-oh, Bray Wyatt now. Bray Wyatt distracting Chris Jericho. Oh, and Curtis Axel once again capitalizes. Bray Wyatt is playing mind games with Chris Jericho. Now it's Jericho off the ropes. Reverses. Float over neckbreaker there from Y2J. Kick to the back there. I'm trying to recall who was Bray Wyatt's opponent last week. I do know he came out victorious in that match, and that was when Chris Jericho came out and taunted. Oh no, yeah, that's what it was. Bray Wyatt versus CM Punk in a false count anywhere. Excuse me for that. Bray Wyatt was victorious, or no, CM Punk defeated Bray Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which was a shocker because it was the first episode of Universe Mode in which Bray Wyatt knocked off John Cena in a WrestleMania rematch. After Bray Wyatt's loss to CM Punk in the Falls Count Anywhere matchup, Chris Jericho, I'm getting all my names confused, Chris Jericho would come outside and taunt Bray Wyatt for his loss, of course, setting up the feud and the match for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. This also explains why Bray Wyatt is out in the corner, as we see the Lion Salt, but no, Axel powers out at 2, the Lion Salt, that could have been it. Jericho's out of stamina. Of course, now it was Jericho who taunted Bray Wyatt after his loss last week. Bray Wyatt's hoping to do the same for Jericho, cost him a loss, cost him a match. But Chris Jericho, what's he calling for? Chris Jericho, Codebreaker! That's it! He's got to get the stamina to roll into the cover. There, yes, he does. 1, 2, 3, and Chris Jericho avoids the distractions from Bray Wyatt and is able to come out victorious in this one-on-one match against Curtis Axel. In the early goings of the match, Bray Wyatt came out here in the corner of Curtis Axel hoping to distract Chris Jericho. He was successful. We thought it was going to be the end of the match at the very start when Curtis Axel hit his signature neck breaker, but Chris Jericho was able to capitalize, hit the Lion Salt, and then straight into the Codebreaker for the win. As there it is, the Lion Salt that signaled the end for Curtis Axel and the Codebreaker that called for the 1, 2, 3 count from the referee, making Chris Jericho victorious, showing Bray Wyatt what he plans to do at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. If I can recall correctly, it will be an Extreme Rules match between these two, Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt. This is a huge victory for Jericho, of course, showing to Bray Wyatt that he can overcome the odds. He can win the big ones, so to speak. But we're going to go ahead and get into our main event, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, United States Championship. As the referee shows off the championship that is on the line in this one-on-one match. Of course, now we see Seth Rollins' updated attire, as the last time we saw Seth Rollins in action, I believe I set his attire, but it must not have saved, and we still saw him in his Shield attire. But here he is, singles attire, starting things off with the collar and elbow lockup. It's a draw here in the early goings. I'm not sure if you could hear that in the background, but it appears that the garbage man is coming around, so, just ignore that. Focus on the action going on in this United States Championship match. It was Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins in an impromptu match in the first week of Monday Night Raw, Episode 1 of Universe Mode, in which Daniel Bryan's championship was suddenly put on the line in the match against Seth Rollins because we thought it was going to be Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. Seth Rollins attacks Kofi, demands his U.S. title match now, and is able to come out He comes out unsuccessful in that match. Daniel Bryan successfully defends his title. This is the second time in 3 weeks, I believe, that Daniel Bryan is being forced to put his U.S. title on the line. Giving the U.S. title, some moments here, unlike what the WWE usually does with their minor championships. We're going to give it some spotlight. Seth Rollins, standing moonsault. Seth Rollins, but Daniel Bryan with the knee. Seth Rollins has been unsuccessful, for lack of a better term. In the last 2 weeks of Monday Night Raws, he has lost 2 matches. He's 0-2. Seth Rollins would really need the victory here in order to prove himself as a successful singles competitor. Otherwise, breaking up the Shield would have probably been useless for his singles career and his career as a whole in the WWE. But Daniel Bryan reverses. Seth Rollins with the knee in the reversal. Now Seth Rollins dragging him to the center of the ring. And a huge suplex there, taking the United States champion down. Seth Rollins picking Bray up. And dropping his back on the mat. That's gotta hurt for Daniel Bryan. Now remember, Daniel Bryan does have the champion's advantage in this match, as it is a regular one-on-one match. So if either competitor were to get counted out or disqualified, Daniel Bryan would still win the United States Championship. But Seth Rollins, buckle bomb. Oh my goodness. That's Seth Rollins' signature maneuver. Will he be able to capitalize and win? No, but Daniel Bryan powers out at 1. Seth Rollins could have won the United States Championship there. That would have been a huge victory for Seth Rollins, showing himself as a worthy singles competitor. Daniel Bryan now is on the outside of the ring, hanging onto the ropes. Seth Rollins, what's he gonna do? No, Seth, don't do this. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Daniel Bryan is down and out, but Seth Rollins picking him up, rolling him into the ring, hopefully gonna capitalize. But Daniel Bryan no-sells the apron DDT, as Seth Rollins with the Russian leg sweep reversal. Daniel Bryan hopefully looking to hit a comeback maneuver here, get back into the matchup, retain his United States Championship. As Seth Rollins, that apron DDT did a lot of damage to Daniel Bryan. But Seth Rollins got Daniel off the ropes. Daniel into the roll-up. No, Seth reverses it at 2. No, that was a close one. Wow, that could have been it. If Daniel Bryan wasn't able to kick out, Seth Rollins would have been the new United States Champion right before the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Rollins moves out of the way for the missile drop kick. Picks him up for another suplex there, fisherman suplex. Seth Rollins has got to be out of stamina here. He's got to do something if he wants to win the United States Championship. He's going to roll straight into the cover. Wait a minute, Daniel Bryan can't kick out. Seth Rollins wins off the fisherman suplex. There it is, the buckle bomb. And our Redbox big moment replays. Then Seth Rollins put Daniel Bryan on the outside of the ring and hit one of the OMG moments, the huge apron DDT on Daniel Bryan, the former United States Champion. We thought Daniel Bryan could have retained his title here, but Seth Rollins reversed the roll-up, and Daniel Bryan was able to kick out. But it was the fisherman suplex that just took all of the stamina and all the health out of Daniel Bryan, costing him the United States Championship. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a new United States Champion in Seth Rollins. Believe that, ladies and gentlemen. Seth Rollins has been 0-2 thus far in Universe Mode. He's able to come out with the win with the United States Championship around his waist. It will be Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, United States Championship match rematch at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Leave a like down below for that. Comment what you guys think. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And with that, I'm Skinny Bone Jones, signing out.